Monday, July 13th, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. Your host for today, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Mike Bennett, working his way behind the boards. What a great way to start off this week. We got a great show for you today. A little bit of a shorter show today because we got a loaded Circle Back episode over on the Circles Off YouTube channel, live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We got Corbie coming on today, batting leadoff on the show at 12:05 here. We're going to talk some home run derby, some home run derby bets, flip over and talk the All-Star game as well. What an odd time for the home run derby to be scheduled on a Monday. People online are saying, "Hey, we can't compete with the World Cup. Just do it on the Saturday. Who cares? Just do it on the Saturdays." Odd stuff here from the MLB, but that's the schedule. We roll with the punches. All-Star game tomorrow, home run derby tonight. After that, we're going to talk through some World Cup Semi-Finals. I'm going to be breaking down every single game here live today. Get a little bit more in-depth tomorrow with the... Actually, no, we don't have a show tomorrow. Oh, yeah, housekeeping. We'll talk about that in just a second here. But yeah, breaking down the World Cup matches. Craziness that was the last round. France versus Spain, and then Argentina versus England we'll talk. Before we get into all that, though, curious how everyone's weekend was. Mine was pretty crazy. A lot of fun stuff on Saturday in terms of sports. Tons of content in terms of the sports world. And there's only one place to start here. You can't start with the World Cup. You got to start with the UFC fights. By the way, we're an absolute banger from start to finish alongside the World Cup. Again, reminder, if you're not watching this stuff in a bar, you gotta have multiple TVs at home. If you're not doing that, you're making a massive mistake. Another thing that happened to me this weekend, though, was watching it at a bar. And I got the honors of getting the TV remote. This might be the highest honor in any bar that you've ever been to. And I think this is actually a dream job of mine. I'm not sure how much it would ever pay, but I've always wanted to be the guy to control the TVs in the bar. I was going back and forth, changing the channels, making sure the right things were on the right TV. When the World Cup game would end, we'd put on the UFC, vice versa. Obviously, much easier to manage with only two major events happening simultaneously. But could you imagine a Sunday? You're in control of all the TVs in the bar. I feel like I'd absolutely crush that job. I'm curious what you guys would do with that one. Anyways, controlled all the TVs in the bar. That was pretty awesome. The main takeaway, though, I think everyone's talking about it. The McGregor-Holloway fight. And damn, was that a weird way to end the UFC card? Pretty crazy stuff. We had the Patty Pimblett submitting BSD in like, what was it, 40 seconds? All that hype, all that energy built up, boom, done. And then right after that, you get the walkouts. And then the McGregor fight, boom, done. Pops his knee on a kick. And the worst part about all this is, whenever McGregor fights, whenever there's a big fight happening, you always get the casuals who come into the woodwork. People are saying, oh, it was a fixed fight. He was injured before. You shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. Like, are you an idiot? I'm sorry. You thought that McGregor may very well be injured before. That could have been the case. But the things that people are using to say he was injured before is like the dumbest thing ever. There's a video of him stepping into the octagon, getting out of his shoes. He stumbles on his left leg. And people are saying, look, he was injured before. He popped his right ACL. It's the wrong leg. What are you talking about? He was hurt before. Maybe he was. Who knows? But like the video evidence you're using is like, it's stupid. Another thing, Holloway was like limping out of the tunnel on the way in. So like if Holloway lost, would people be tweeting, Holloway was injured before the fight? It was right, blah, blah, blah. Like, shrink. Hashtag shrink the game. People are crazy when it comes to this stuff. In terms of the result. Okay, here, right. Time out. Joseph Myers in the chat. You're saying he was injured before the fight, but he can't say it out loud due to the gambling issues. That's not true. He was injured in his previous 2 fights ago. When he snapped his leg, he had a microfracture in that same leg, and it fully broke. That's why he snapped his leg. There's been plenty of times where fighters go into fights with injuries. That's not something that's uncommon. It has nothing to do with gambling issues. Has nothing to do with it. What happened here was a freak accident. He tried to land a kick with the titanium shin in the first opening seconds of the fight. He wanted that big pop moment, and people are going to say that was a stupid thing to do. Well, no. The advantage of that is you actually gain ring control off the top instead of having to meet someone in the middle. If you sprint at them, at the very least, if it doesn't land, you are on the forefront and you get ring control, which is very important for Conor. So there's that. Tons of guys have fought injured before. I get that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If he doesn't start the fight, doesn't get paid. That's very true. Very true. But tons of guys have fought injured before. Tons of guys. So I don't think there was an injury before. Maybe there was. We could be wrong. But he said himself there was no injury before. In previous fights, he said that he's gone into fights with injuries. He went into this is like years ago. And I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here. This was years ago. But I'm pretty sure the Chad Mendes fight, he had a MCL sprain going into that fight. And he came out after the fact saying he had an MCL sprain. Now, mind you, he won that fight. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe he doesn't want to say that he's hurt in a fight that he lost. But I don't think there was an injury here. He said that there was no injury. I don't think he would hide the fact that there was an injury before. Every time he's been injured before, he said it. So, yeah. Also, every single UFC fighter has to go through medicals before they fight. He was fully cleared by the doctors. So there it is. Like, I don't know what else there was. So there we go. Crazy stuff there. Worst part is, and I'll get to it a little bit more about circle back, is that people thinking they were right about that fight when they were 100% wrong, or at the very least could make no determination. Anyways, can't wait to get into today's show. Had to get that off my chest. Appreciate you guys for listening to me ramble about that. So we're going to bring on Corbie here in just a second. But before we do that, just want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at FanDuel. And a quick reminder before we talk about FanDuel here. Circle Back live, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to want to check that out. Anyways, let's talk FanDuel. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changed the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Guess what? Not anymore with FanDuel Super Sub. If your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. We were able to take advantage of that with the Kitolare and Lukaku 2 matches ago. We're going to look towards France for this one in the future, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to get started right now. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliates, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/China, Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana. Call 1-866-531-2600. Visit connexontario.ca in Ontario. All right. Let's get through this. Corbie smiling in the background. I'm going to bring him on in just a second. A little bit more housekeeping notes. Tomorrow, no Hammer Daily. Instead, it will be replaced by the Open Championship betting extravaganza hosted by Jeff Feinberg, guaranteed to give out a ton of Open Championship bets. And I don't know if I can guarantee this, but slight guarantee, a maybe, that Jeff will stumble through the ad read. So I'll tell you that much for free. You're going to want to check that out. It's going to be great. If you want any sweats or bets on the Open Championship, that's the show to do so. We've done pretty well in the last couple ones, and it's been a lot of fun to do. After that, live on this same channel, remember, hit the subscribe button. Ring that notification bell to be notified every time we go live. Live on this channel, we got to watch along. France, Spain. Then, the next day, England, Argentina. We're going to be watching the entire semifinal matches here on the channel. So if you want to join us for those watch-alongs, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live. All right. Housekeeping out of the way. Let's get into things. All right. Let's bring on our first guest here. You know him. You love him. The pride of UAB, Corbie Craig. Corbie, how's it going?
Boys, it's a sad Monday, Jason. I didn't know if we were going to bring up the McGregor fight, but it sounds like we're getting right to it. So, Sad Monday. Derby might make it a little more fun, but yeah, it was an anticlimactic Saturday. At least, the best news you did bring it up is at least it wasn't that late into the night. They got it done early. Poor McGregor. I don't think he was hurt before. The betting moves were pretty weird. I'd be curious your take there, Jason. I think closed minus 330, but yeah, I mean, if you could watch the ACL snap. Like he obviously got hurt in the ring, but maybe he had something before. I have no clue. All I know is I didn't bet McGregor at like 190, and then I saw 160 at close. I was like, all right, we lost. So it's fine. Like I don't know what happened, but we lost here.
Yeah, it's tough to see. Obviously, listen. I'll get this. I probably should have got this out of the way before I started rambling about McGregor. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge McGregor fan. His come up, obviously he's done like some awful shit over the past couple of years, but McGregor in my mind from the years of like 2013 2013, 2014 to like 2018, there will never be a more meteoric rise in sports and culture than we saw with Conor McGregor. What he did during that time frame was truly incredible, and I was very early on that. Watched his first fight in the UFC, watched every single fight afterwards, have a picture with him from 2015. Like I was through and through the biggest McGregor fan. So I'm a little biased when it comes to this stuff, but yeah. ACL clearly popped in the ring, or whatever it was, MCL, ACL, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. Knee very clearly popped out. I just think it's more frustrating. It's so frustrating to see people come out and say like, oh, Holloway was free. Everyone's a moron for not betting Holloway. Like generational bet, talking about it like it was like the Tyson fight. Like it was like the Ronda Rousey fight that happened earlier in the year, which a lot of people weren't really talking about as generational, but completely missed that opportunity. Stupid on my part. But I don't know how you can come to that conclusion after that result. Like that is, I don't think it was a generational bet. Like, are we sure about that?
Nah, that's hindsight bias, Jason. Yeah, in the moment, unless these people were saying it can prove to me that they had a generational amount of money on it, then like I don't want to hear it. It's like, it's easy to talk. It's like I like to spin everything to LeBron, but it's like everyone hates LeBron after he does something stupid, but when he's doing good stuff, like nobody talks about it. It's a hindsight bias thing. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, it stinks. I don't know. I think I've talked about this on the show, but like I have like a weird soft spot in my heart. I like injuries make me like sick to the stomach. So Rise of Saw is like that. Just because like imagine how hard that guy's trained. Even love him, hate him. Like he has trained for many years to get back to a spot where he could get and like not even get the shot. Like it just stinks for anybody, even the person you hate the most. Like it's just not the way. Even Max Holloway was like, "This isn't the way I want to win." Like, ref, stop this fight. I don't want to. I think he said this guy has a wife and kids in the crowd. Like this isn't how I want to win. So it stinks. I hope they get another fight. I wish that it was like it was pretty obvious, at least in my opinion. I haven't looked at any news, but it looks just like an ACL tear. So if it is, they can't like run it back soon. He's going to be out for quite some time.
Yeah, and he's
also if it was pre-hurt, like if he knew he was hurt, like. I don't know. The whole thing's dumb. Like the whole thing's dumb. If you got hurt from a shoe, first off, you should retire. Second, like you can like wear braces. Like people have knee braces. Like you can't
do. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can wear a knee brace.
I think you have tape. I could be wrong, but
I think you can only wear it on the ankles. I've never seen knee tape before. But anyways,
well, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, we're talking about two very casual fans. Jason likes Conor McGregor of all people, so he's as casual as it comes. So no, it was an uneventful. I will say, Paddy the Batty, that was pretty dope, though. I mean, the fight was boring, but the way he did it was pretty dope.
Yeah, fair enough here. And someone mentioned in the chat that it was a generational bet because you could have arbed it off minus 190. You could have arbed it off right before the fight. There's tons of opportunities you can do that in like. Literally in the NFL, if you can find like if you have like a good inkling on injury earlier in the week and get early money down, then like you could just simply do that as well. I don't think that's why people were saying it's generational, but I can see.
Yeah, and generational, I think generational means the ability to make an amount of money that changes your life is kind of what that means. And if you were able to arb an amount of money that would change your life, then like should have just stayed on the initial side in the first point because you had a pretty good opinion on it. So it was a fun bet. It wasn't Tyson. It wasn't. Joshua, it wasn't anything like that, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah. And also, like with the Tyson fight, it was like Jake Paul was going off at like minus 210, like you said there. I don't think Anthony Joshua would have been like generational because like how much can you really get down on like what was it minus 1400? Like you gotta have like if you have enough money to get generational wealth on the minus 1400, you already have generational wealth. It doesn't really matter, right? Like and anyways, the minus 210 there, like I know for me like it was a big help to the bankroll. Had like an absurd amount of my bankroll on that. Anyways, didn't happen here though. Didn't happen here. All right, a little sad talk about this. Got to move on though. We'll have tons more UFC in the future to talk about. A lot of fun ripple effects from that card though. If you look before the main event, there are a lot of stuff happening. But let's talk about Home Run Derby. Let's start with it. What people want to know. I mean, talk to me about this new format. There was a tweet that went off a little bit like right before we went to air 30 minutes ago. Someone saying that there's no value anymore on the Home Run Derby because of the new. You're smiling. I know you saw that because of the new format. Talk me through the new format here. I have the rules up. I can talk through it if you want. But talk me through the new format if you think there's still value in betting on it.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions here. First off, you talked about looking at Twitter 30 minutes ago. I just actually opened up my Twitter and I got tagged by Hammer Betting Network, which shows y'all's recap and leaderboard. I see Jason Cooper minus 0.025. Not too bad. Not bad. I'm being dead serious. Like, hey, you have room to improve. That's fine. But on the same rung as you, I see just some. What are we doing here,
Kanish?
Joey Kanish? I mean, Kanish, we're gonna need some generational plays here in the soccer. But yeah, it kind of pivots right into. I saw the same tweet as you, and I'm like, I used to like poke at these and like try to stir controversy. It's like what gambling Twitter does. I've realized like it's a net lose. Like if like the person who says it's never going to understand it, you making fun of them is never going to make it better. So I've kind of stopped trying to do this. But yeah, I mean like the opinion on like there's no World Cup. So you shouldn't bet. Like obviously a niche market that just changed the rules is going to have significantly more value than something that takes $300 million. Like it's not even close. So yeah, I think this is probably one of the better days to bet. I think we've talked about this on the show. I haven't touched the World Cup. Don't even look at the World Cup. Don't care about the World Cup. And it's not because I don't like soccer. I don't care about the sport. It's the market takes so much money on me. There is no way that my time would be worth this. So what are the things that take my time? Like player props in baseball, totals in baseball the night before, and the home run derby now. So yeah, a little excited to hop into it. I will say, Jason, I didn't spend as much time on this as I have in years past. Just like wasn't really able to bet as much money as I would like to. So I kind of just like, I will say it, I kind of skimmed through it, but I do have some interesting stats for you. I came here prepared. I'm ready to talk about it. You want to dive straight in? Let's
dive straight in. I'll quickly recap the new rules here for the people watching at home in case they don't know here. A little bit different things than we've seen in previous years. Normally, if you've been watching the Home Run Derby, there used to be a clock, and you'd have to just try and get as many swings in during that clock. But no, we went back to the rules back to 2015. It's pitch amounts now. So no clock, just 20 pitches in the first round. After that, rounds 2 and 3, you'll get 15 pitches. If you hit a home run on the last pitch, you keep going until you stop hitting home runs. So if you can potentially break a record here if you just can hit a bunch of simultaneous home runs. I don't know exactly what the record is in one round, but can't imagine it'd be that easy to break. So there's that to keep in mind. Also, round 1, 8 batters, top 4 advance, and then it's a head-to-head bracket, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. And then round 3 is the finals there. All right. Set the stage for things. Talk me through the stats. What are you looking at? What do you think is most important here? Do pitchers matter as much as in previous years with no clock now? Talk me through this.
Yeah, I think that one of the more important things is pitchers. Like people, like what is the relative difference in max exit velocity of any of these guys? You're talking like a couple miles an hour, right? I don't think that it makes it a massive difference, but pitch location, pitch timing, pitch sequencing, I think all of those things are really important. Not a ton of guys have like quote unquote bad pitchers. There's been some really bad pitchers in the past. Like, sometimes they'll bring out their dad and like, you can tell they don't care about this. This is coming from the guy who bet Mookie Betts a few years ago. I think in that home run derby, Mookie hit 5 total home runs. It was like 40 pop flies. It was like, all right. So I think that there are a lot of factors that come into play, but I don't think that those like pitching metrics really are the driver of this. Jason, I've got a few fun ones for you, and then I'll talk about the ones that I think matter here and where I went for a winner and some other props. So the first one, we saw this a few years ago, Julio Rodriguez. It just felt like if you were watching that, I can't even remember if he won that year. I think he did, but it just felt like Julio had like a completely different mental than everyone else. And it was because I think his contract was like $600K. The winner of the Derby wins $1 million. And everyone was saying like, this kid's here to double his net worth. So was curious because there are a lot of young guys in the Derby this year. Who are the 3 lowest priced contracts? Jock has a $780K. Junior Caminario has a $790K, and Jordan Walker $799. So all of these guys will win more money than their current MLB contract if they win the Home Run Derby. I think that's always fun. A little set the stage of who cares the most, guys like Schwarber, obviously like Schwarber's a tank. Bryce Harper. I did a little downgrade on both of them, just assuming like if you've watched these, you can kind of see like vets, especially kind of like pimp this outside of like Pete Alonso. I mean, Jason, I'm sure you watched it. Pete Alonso back in the day would punch himself in the face if he didn't hit a home run. So I think there's value in the youngsters. And then another metric that I know people used for quite some time was how these people hit changeups, because like you're not getting a fastball out there. So how have they hit changeups on the year? The 3 highest max exit velocities versus changeup this year. It's going to be 3 very similar names as you just heard. Junior Caminaro at 116, Jordan Walker 115, and Jack Caglione at 113. So the 3 people who were paid the least hit changeups the hardest. Do I think that actually matters? I'm going to go with, just for the sake of I enjoy betting this, I'm going to go with yes. I will say I've had decent success with this, and so looking at like how this has played out, who has done well and performed well in the past, like there's been a couple long shots, but over the majority of this has been like an upper echelon. The co-betting favorite, the favorite top three basically have won for the last few years. So I'm going to look at the hardest hitting, highest flyer, the dinger sensation himself, Junior Caminero. I believe hit 11 in 11 straight games recently. I got plus 510 FanDuel. I think that has moved within the hour. What can I get Junior Caminero, Jason?
Junior Caminero to win the whole damn thing is plus 400 right now on FanDuel. And there's also plenty of fun niche markets on FanDuel, which I did find. Couldn't find them before the show, but I'm an idiot. I forgot about that little search function in the top right-hand corner. If you just type in home run derby on the search function, there's tons of markets here. Total home runs hit by all players. Totals right
Mike,
now.
Mike, can you pull up longest distance? Because I did not use the search bar either.
That's all right. Let me see if I can find longest distance.
484.
I'll try and find it here in a sec, but there's tons of stuff. You have longest distance?
If it's 484, I like the over there.
Oh, you're saying I think this is longest distance to player to hit the longest distance home run, not actual distance of it.
All of those. So just like from a quick, I'm not saying that this is like some expert opinion on modeling. The favorite on all of those should be Caminero, and Jordan Walker be a very close second or third. You could say Schwarber second, but it would be Caminero, Jordan Walker for me. So if you see any kind of like longest distance or highest exit velocity or to hit a laser, it would be Caminero, Walker, Schwarber, Caglione in that order. Jason, one fun one would be Wilson Contreras. I always like doing this, and this has probably lost me a lot of money over the years. I have no clue. I've never tracked this, but at some point, we got to remember this is a fun game where these guys aren't being too serious. Except again, Pete Alonso. Come on, Pete, like you got to grow up a little bit here. But at some point, we just get some numbers that are ridiculous. I think I saw an outlier number of like Wilson Contreras to win at like 22-1. I mean. It's just hitting home runs and batting price. Like, what are we doing here? I remember the only time I think I've ever hit one of these was Karl Anthony Towns 3-point contest. It was like 25-1. I mean, he wouldn't be here if he couldn't at least shoot a little bit. So I thought that was a pretty crazy price. I bet like a very small amount on it, but I think that's it's a little hard on a guy who has home run power. Like you're not asking them to go hit 200 in a row. I think that Wilson Contreras, anything over like, 20-1 is just a crazy price in my opinion.
All right. Contreras right now on FanDuel's 14-1. So yeah, a little bit crazy there. What did I say? 14-1. Yes, 14-1. There we go. Crazy price there. Let's talk about the, is he 14-1? 11-1. I'm looking in the wrong market. Anyways.
Yeah, these, I will note, these have like, just for, I guess, future reference, if you next year, if you're ready to bet these lines have moved a ton, and it's basically all just been VIG. Like they've just like they started off like decent. I think I got Ben Rice 12.5-1 the day after they released, and I could be wrong, but I think he's 8-1 right now. And it's like, and that's not like a flex of CO. Like that's just been every player. Wilson Contreras yesterday, you could have got 20, and now it's 11-14. Like, these have just been moving crazy across the market.
Any lean here for the total home runs hit by all players, or like total home runs hit by all players in the first round here right now on FanDuel? You got the 117.5, 113 both sides. For the first round, it's 74.5 minus 114 both sides. Any lean here?
It looks like over 117, not by much. Would lean directionally over there. I did not bet that. Would you say first round? I don't know. I would have to break down. Yeah, I'd have to break down per the rules. I don't want to just like give it directionally. Things I have bet. I will say things I have bet for sure.
Talk to me.
Junior Caminero to win. I got 5-1. 4 is a little. You can shop around. You can find close to 5. It looks like my number is 450. So anything better, and like I'm not like squeezing EV. Like it's just kind of like what price am I willing to have a little bit of fun at? Bet that. I bet the over 484.5 distance. I bet Jordan Walker exit velo. I don't have the price in front of me, and then one more, but I do not. Bryce Harper did not make the semis, which was pretty juicy. But if I was to fade one guy in this list, it would probably be Bryce Harper.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense there. Bryce Harper, where is he located? He's like towards the back.
He's towards the bottom, but he
plus 900.
Jason, as you might know, he's got a little bit of extra stuff on his mind of late. He the cameos. I think he was busy all week.
Anyways, let's talk about. I want to talk to you about. There's some interesting markets that we can combine here, and I want to talk to that. But first, let's quickly get into some totals. Gun to your head. I'm going to go through all these totals here. Jordan Walker, first round total home runs, over under 8.5, minus 146 to the over, plus 114 to the under. Gun to your head. Who you got?
8.5 over.
8.5 over.
Over. All right. I saw just like stop you real quick because this was like I saw a first round, like highest first round home runs, 18 over under, which at even money, which was crazy. So 8.5, Jordan Walker. I think Jordan Walker would do good. Okay, continue, and you can just use the baseline of like, I don't think anybody's gonna get to 18, but 8.5. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, all the totals seem pretty low here. This is the first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this was in any round. Yeah. Okay, continue.
All right, Wilson Contreras, first round total home runs, over under 8.5, 113 both sides.
I mean, just based off what I know in the market, I would probably lean under. People hate him, but I don't think he's as bad as people are saying. So directionally, I would say over.
All right. Kyle Schwarber, first round total home runs, over under 10.5, juice towards the under.
Under. I think that's you're getting a little high there.
Caminero, first round total home runs, over under 9.5, minus over is minus 150.
It would be over, but I wouldn't lay that juice. So like near even, I would probably play it.
Murakami, over under 9.5, juice towards the under, minus 130.
Yeah, lean towards an under.
Ben Rice, over under 8.5, juice towards the under, minus 120.
Under again.
Right.
Just laying. It sounds like I'm just laying the juice here, boys.
Last one. I don't think you're going to be laying the juice of this one. Bryce Harper, over under 8.5, plus 114 towards the under, 146 towards the over.
You say Bryce Harper again?
Yes. Did I say Bryce Harper the first time?
I think you said Ben Rice. I mean, you said Bryce Harper. You meant Ben Rice. If you meant Ben Rice, I like the over there. Okay, I think Ben Rice has a pretty good chance to go over that number. Bryce Harper, I would go under. Ben Rice is one sneaky one, Jason. If you were to ask me, like, I mean, I guess Wilson Contreras have already kind of put. But if I was going to say, like, who is someone who has a live shot that no one's really given a shot, I would say Ben Rice. The ability to show up Aaron Judge in his own game when Aaron Judge is hurt sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. You mentioned 3 names specifically. I want to touch on all those because the fun little market that I found, there's players to combine for 20 plus home runs in the first round. So if you want just like some more money to get down instead of betting some of these players overs, or if you bet they're over to as much as you could and you're trying to look for a little bit more, you can get Jack and Junior 20 plus home runs at plus 100. You can get Jordan Walker and Jack at plus 124. If you're feeling really frisky, there's a market of 30 plus home runs in the first round. Jack and Jordan Walker is 40 to 1. Jack and Caminero is 28 to 1. I don't know if there's a Caminero and Jordan Walker. I don't see that, but yeah, there's 2 guys combined there, 40 to 1, 28 to 1. Do those interest you at all?
Yeah, not really. That would be a pretty tough number to get to. Obviously, you're paying the price for it, but no, I think I don't have fares for that in front of me, but like that just doesn't even sound close. Okay. If I had to go like list, it would be Caminero, Walker, Schwarber, Jack. So like you can look at odds and say, okay, well, Caminero is getting worse odds than Schwarber. I think Caminero is better. So in market, I would lean over on one and under on the other.
All right, makes perfect sense there. And of course, I think there might be some more markets if you keep your eye close to things on FanDuel opening up as we get closer to the home run derby. They also have first swing to be a home run, yes or no? Is that like a plate discipline thing, you think, or is this just like?
I think it's just vibes.
Just vibes. All right.
I mean, do we have the order of like? Is it first pitch for like per player?
Oh, that's a good that's a good point.
If it's first pitch per player, like I think it probably take some people who've been there before. If it's like, I mean, if I could take Jordan Walker first pitch, not a home run, I would assume he's just swinging. And Jordan Walker is. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy, Jace. He is a massive man. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just thinks every pitch is a good pitch and doesn't hit a home run. So that would be a no for me on Jordan Walker. But like, I mean, what's a good price you can get? I can't really read these, but like if you could get like like a Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, that would be kind of fun. Now, is there any logic behind the number that I would take? It would just be like, that sounds fun. So again, this wouldn't be. Hey, as a wise man once said, Jason, there's not much value in this. The new rules changed it, so you can't really get good bets. So be careful out there, boys.
There you go. There's also market final first swing to be a home run. Final first. Oh, that's in the finals. Never mind. I thought that said final swing to be a home run.
I was about to say final swing. That would be the easiest no ever, because I think that if you hit a home run, you continue until you don't hit a home run.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's an automatic no.
Greatest no in history. I'll lay the juice there. Generational wealth could be made.
That's actually generational wealth bet. There we go. Keep your eyes. Think some of these things will open up as we get closer to the start time on FanDuel. And yeah, let's have some fun with it. Any opinions for tomorrow? I know we got the World Cup going on, but more importantly, the NBA All-Star game is also happening. So talk me through that. Anything you like there? I don't know if there's any interesting storylines, like, I don't know, something like 4 Blue Jays getting picked to the All-Star team. Pretty big there.
Did they actually?
Well, I'm counting John Schneider. So does that count? Cease, Clement, and Varland were all picked. Vladdy was also picked, but I think he opted out. I don't know if it was an injury-related thing, but he did opt out. So technically 4 players, but 3 players.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, wait, Vladdy got whatever. Yeah, I would say I still think it's weird that closers or like I guess relief pitchers. I understand why they should be all-stars, but like, I mean, we bring so many pitchers, we don't really need like relief or close. I understand you have to give them like some credibility for what they're doing. They're awesome in their own rights, but I mean, what are we going to do? Throw everybody a quarter of an inning at this point? Like, no, it seems tough. It seems like every year I lean towards unders. I don't bet it. And I would be curious how it's went, but it seems like my directional under has been dead wrong, stone nuts wrong every single year. I don't bet this. I will say, if there's like an event I actually don't bet, it would be this game. And I'm not saying that is any kind of like, there's no edge. I just don't bet it. I'm really big into the fact that like, they don't really care. So it's pretty tough for me to like. I would say my number leans under because I'm not shading like the expected batting average of Ben Rice to be. I'm like, all right, does Ben Rice care in this game? Because I mean, you've seen pitchers like smiling, like throwing in on it. Like they're not taking it serious. So no, I don't bet these. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying the value's gone. So I personally don't, Jason.
Yeah, maybe we can get E-Colt on to talk about that stuff. That guy absolutely crushed it on Friday. I know you don't bet the stuff before you head out here, though. Last thing, NL -142 on the money line. Totals at 7.5. Juice towards the under -104.
Priced. Give me a second. I have it priced, but I just don't bet it.
I was just gonna say, gun to your head, pick a side, and then we can clip it if you're right afterwards.
All right, cool. I'll say it with confidence then. Confidence and conviction. Here we go. Yeah, I priced NL -122, so I'd lean the dog here, which would be fun. And who would have guessed it? Lean towards the under 7.5.
7.5 -104, showing value on the under. All right, we can stop. Clip this part. All
right, now, boys. Now, let's be serious. I have no clue what I'm talking about.
All right, let's enjoy. Again, All-Star game. I think the most important thing is that people have fun during this, and I think that's the entire purpose of it. And guess what? We can bet a little bit on it as well.
Jason, one more thing before I go. I'm curious, does the NHL have like All-Star? Obviously, they have All-Star breaks. Not what I'm asking, but like, do they have like fun games? Because I have decided the MLB might have the worst. Like, what are we doing? All-Star break is the draft, the Home Run Derby, which is a blast, and then the All-Star game. Like, we don't have any other skills competition. I want to see a long throw, like get pitchers beside outfielders, and it's just like, they practice it pregame anyways. See who can throw the farthest ball. Then like, let's get, I don't know. I mean, you could make up some crazy games in baseball. Like,
that's all the skills.
Just anything other. All we have is the Home Run Derby. That literally is it.
No, and NHL has one of the worst All-Star weekends. I was at it was in Toronto a couple of years ago. I was at the All-Star skills competition. It was all right. It was kind of fun to see, but then there were some players who just literally don't care. Like Kucherov was getting booed the entire time. You don't even know who that is. But I will say MLB would have some good, cool skills competition. Of all the All-Star breaks, though, the coolest one is the home run derby in terms of like skills competition. That is like by far and away the best. And I would say, in terms of All-Star games, like NHL All-Star game sucks. The NBA sucks.
All the
NFL sucks. MLB might have the best All-Star weekend of all the big four major sports.
I mean more so in like the ability to showcase players, I guess. But like Home Run Derby's great. It does a good job at it. Julio Rodriguez, even though like he hasn't had the greatest season, he's a name that like people hear and they know. But like how does the average casual know Julio Rodriguez? Because that time that he hit 30 home runs in a round during Home Run Derby. So like it does a good job there. Like if we could show off like an outfielder's just bazooka of an arm. Jordan Walker can throw a ball 700 miles an hour, Jason. And if we could show off like an accuracy throw from 100 yards, how accurate can you throw? Who can throw a ball over 200? Like just some stupid stuff. I think it would be fun. You like find the superhuman athletes. I remember Bo Jackson once said he threw a baseball over the jumbotron from second base.
That's insane.
And everybody's like, no, you didn't. To test that in an all-star break would be hilarious. I think you could have a lot of fun with it. I'm just disappointed in the amount of events, I guess. I do agree the Derby probably is the best game. I also like maybe the 3-point competition is really fun, but the dunk contest is ass. So we'll go Derby, 3-point competition. What does hockey do? Like
it's awful. And I will say the All-Star weekend is so bad they basically got rid of it for the Olympics this past year, and then they did the Four Nations the year prior as well. So like there you go. Congratulations. Your gold medal is just an All-Star weekend trophy.
I wasn't gonna rub it in your face again, but I considered it there.
All right, all good. Corbie, appreciate you joining the show. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge about everything as always. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy.
All right, boys. Don't break your knees.
Try not to. Thanks, Corbie. Great stuff there as always from one of the best. Love Corbie. Great guy. Gave us all the info for the Home Run Derby. But remember, there's no value, so don't bet it. Don't bet it. That's a joke. It's a little inside joke, and we'll probably talk about that joke on Circle Back live right here after we get off air. Not right here on the Circles Off YouTube channel. I mean, physically right here because we're in the same office. But yeah, you're gonna want to go check that out. And then again, one more time after tomorrow. No Hammer Daily, but we do have an open championship betting extravaganza. Jeff will be hosting. Tons of guests, tons of smart, sharp golf minds breaking down the entire board, sharing some of their best bets, and getting you ready for one of the biggest golfing events of the year. Noon Eastern time here on the Hammer Daily. That's when we're doing the Open Championship extravaganza. And then finally, double watch along Tuesday and Wednesday. I also bought some Uncrustables with trying it on air with Byron. Myself and Jeff will be trying it on air. I'll be giving my Uncrustable review. So if you guys care about Uncrustables and my review of them, I'm going to be doing it live on air when Byron jumps on as well. All right. We're going to head out here. Before we do that, a couple things to go through. First of all, let's talk some World Cup. A little pissed off at Goon because I don't know if you guys remember. I came on here. I said, keep an eye on Jude Bellingham. 125-1 for the Golden Boot. He has 0 assists in the tournament. It's going to be tough for him to win. But could be live after this weekend. Lo and behold, 2 goals later. What is he? 2 goals back from the from the Golden Boot. Now he has to score more goals than everyone else. He cannot tie because he doesn't have the assist tiebreaker with Messi. Messi has the tiebreaker there. He's 2 assists so far in this tournament. I believe Jude has 1. So it's crazy for him to win. But there's still a chance. It's crashed all the way down to, what is it, 25-1 now? He's 25-1 right now to win the Golden Boot. I think he's actually a better bet to win the Golden Boot than Kane is right now. And if we're going to continue with the Golden Boot markets, something that's kind of been talked about, but not as much, and we talked about it a lot more here on the show, is all the teams remaining, they're going to be playing 2 games. But you want the guy in the 3rd place game for Golden Boot. Chances are that game is going to be a lot more high scoring than the World Cup Finals itself. So having a team or having a player in that game who's live for the Golden Boot is kind of what you want. If you want any of these guys in England to win the Golden Boot, you're going to want them to finish 3rd because there's a higher chance of that being high scoring. I believe the last time, I might be wrong here, but I believe the last time a World Cup winner, who was it? I think it was Fat Ronaldo, not Ronaldo, Fat Ronaldo, in 2002. Was it Brazil? Was that the year when he won? I believe that's the last time the Golden Boot winner was with the winner of the tournament. So it's pretty hard to do that. So keep that in mind if you're betting Golden Boot markets on the get-go. Now let's get into the actual matches themselves. We're going to be breaking them down live on 10 minutes before the room over there. But we got France versus Spain tomorrow. Curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Both teams handled things pretty well. France dominated Morocco, clinical, in control of everything. Spain I don't want to say squeaks past. Feels like they dominated the game, but the result of the score didn't really say that too much. Kelatare, this guy's been a stud for us here, ended up scoring, keeping this one a little bit close for Spain. It seems like everyone and their mother is on France to win. I will say, Debundo mentioned earlier in the tournament, he said if there's one team to beat France, it's most likely Spain. The way that they can control the midfield could give an edge and an advantage to Spain here over France. But I feel like Spain is in like a really tough spot. France hasn't really had to defend too often in this tournament, and we'll see what that's going to look like when they play Spain. But man, we saw it with Morocco, the one instance where they tried to press and score in that first half. This counterattack of France is lethal. It's scary. It's like, what are you supposed to do with them? You're struggling if you're trying to do a low block and defend them deep. You're struggling if you're trying to press and attack and they get you on the counterattack. You're screwed. The amount of speed on the wings and the amount of speed of the front four with this team and the amount of skill, it's really scary. So France right now, minus 152 to advance on FanDuel. Minus 154 right now on FanDuel. Pretty heavy favorites here. I think they're going to be advancing in this one. I like them to advance. We'll see if we can see any heroics from the Spain team. Lamine Yamal still played a lot better last match than he did 2 games ago. Mind you, he's still hurt, so got to be wary of that as well. Maybe we'll see some late heroics here. Who knows? But I think this is France's match to win, and I think if I had to bet anything in this match, it'd be that minus 152. Curious again to see who starts for France. We're going to take advantage of the super sub again. Barcolo and Doué. Pair them together. You can get them at 13-1 anytime goal scorer. They usually sub in and out for each other. So keep an eye on that one. Could be interesting. I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be giving that out live on the watch along. The next one to talk about. England and Argentina. Now, this one is really, really interesting. A lot of controversy surrounding this one heading into this because if Argentina gets the big advantage against Switzerland, I feel like this is getting swept under the rug because of the red card and because of all the stuff that happened in the England match we'll talk about a little bit later. If Argentina with the red card, if Argentina VARing, reversing the red card, reversing the yellow card, putting the red card onto Briel and Mbolo. Tough scenes there for Mbolo, tough to see, but Argentina was getting dominated in that game. Like, obviously the momentum graph isn't like the perfect way to encapsulate a game, but like, it felt like it was a lot of Switzerland in that one. A lot of Switzerland. And Argentina has this awful habit of just being content with not pressing, inviting attack. I really like England in this one. And if we look over on the England side and talk about Jude Bellingham's been incredible. He's very live to win player of the tournament here, to win the golden ball. I believe he's plus 440 here to win the golden ball. Yeah, Mbappe and Messi are ahead of him. I think Bellingham at plus 440 might be better if he really shows out in this match. They beat Argentina. I don't see how Messi or Mbappe would be ahead of him. Mbappe, again, I don't know too much about this the golden ball. Gonna have to do a little bit more research until tomorrow, before tomorrow, excuse me. But a lot of these times with these awards, it's what have you done for me lately, not what have you done this entire tournament. Jude Bellingham's done a lot for us lately. 2 braces, back-to-back matches, fresh in the mind. I mean, I think he's pretty live here. Jude Bellingham, though, has been incredibly impressive. Beatles getting a ton of play on Hey Jude. But yeah, back to the England stuff here. Jude's been impressive. A lot of controversy around England. A lot of hubbub. Tuchel saying that they didn't play well. Interesting stuff there. Jude Bellingham feeling the exact opposite. I think people are overblowing this. I think people are making too much of it. Tuchel was very complimentary of the players and saying that wasn't a great game tactically, but we won on grit and determination. If you can clean up your tactics, you're beating anybody then. This is great. Nicky Noodles in the chat. Oh my God, we'll get to that in just a second. I'm looking at this one. I really think England wins. For my golden boot bets, I hope Argentina wins. For me, I think I'm laying the minus money with the favorites here. France, England in the finals here, minus 154 for France, England minus 124 as well. I'll keep an eye out if there's any super subs we can take advantage of. None that I can really think of with England because Tuchel's so loves moving the pieces around the board. Very hard to figure out who's going to come on for who and who's going to be starting there. So very tough for the goal scorers. But yeah, I'm going to have some more bets on the live watch along tomorrow. We're taking England though. We're taking France. And we'll see if it's coming home after that. One more thing. What's up? Let's get out of here. Yeah, I agree. We got Circle Back live on the Circles Off YouTube channel in a couple minutes here. Go check it out. And that's it. That wraps up today's show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to Corbie for coming on, breaking down the Home Run Derby. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Nikki Noodles saying, this is a great news. I need Spain and Argentina, and Jay is on both England and France. Well, Nikki Noodles, me and you head to head. Let's get it. Chat Attack saying Argentina have a pretty bad roster. I have no business being here if it weren't for Messi. We'd be getting the battle for North America all over again. The French versus the English. The English, only France win this time. LOL, that's funny stuff there. France won a little bit. They got Quebec. Am I right? Anyways, that's it. That wraps up today's show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Circle Back live in a couple minutes on the Circles Off YouTube channel. All right. Hit that notification bell to be notified when we go live. Extravaganza tomorrow. World Cup watch along tomorrow. Tons of content coming through on the network. And also for the first time in this show, I'm asking you guys, please smash the like button. Really goes a long way here. Thanks guys for tuning in. See you guys here tomorrow. This has been the Monday, July 13th edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. See you guys live right here for the Extravaganza.